There had once been another war. And another German defeat.
The end of the war meant husbands restored to wives and life restored to men. But there was no sense of joy, only defeat, anxiety, senseless gunfights, confusion.
If you were German in 1919, your peace was humiliation and suffering. And forced democracy had resulted in chaos. Money was worthless. Vigilantes ruled the streets. Berlin had become a swamp of depravity. Everything and everyone was for sale.
After months of discussions among themselves, the victors, above all France, England, and the United States, impose harsh peace terms on Germany, as if it alone were responsible for the massive carnage. The Treaty of Versailles, signed on June 28, 1919, condemns Germany to pay enormous reparations, which will create a great burden on the economy and will become a central issue in Germany's popular grievances. Germany also sees 13% of its territories and 1/10 of its population amputated. Alsace-Lorraine once again becomes French, and the Rhine's entire left bank is demilitarized. A German film of the period denounces the carving up of the national territory. The worst is the separation of East Prussia from Germany to reconstitute Poland, partitioned in the 18th century, giving it access to the sea. The Polish corridor will be the issue that ultimately leads to the Second World War. For many Germans, the Allies' condition that paramilitary anti-revolutionary forces be disarmed adds insult to injury. They witness the destruction of their submarines, their battleships, and their air force. Germany's army is reduced to 100,000 men, whereas power in Berlin is with the center-leftist Weimar Republic, named after the city where the new constitution has just been voted into law. For the new regime of the Social Democrat president, Friedrich Ebert. The young republic must deal with the Marxist revolutionary movement, the Spartacus League, who are trying to seize power like the Bolsheviks did in Russia 2 years before. The army crushes them, aided by volunteer nationalists, the Free Corps, a spawning ground for the future Nazi party. January 11, 1923. Stunned Germans watch helplessly as French and Belgian soldiers take control of the Ruhr, Germany's mining and steel production region. This results from Germany's refusal to pay its war reparations, the indemnities imposed by the Treaty of Versailles. The French and Belgians are taking payment directly in the form of coal. Consequently, the German government orders passive resistance. a miners' and rail workers' strike. The French will simply replace the strikers. No coal is left for the Germans. The situation becomes dangerously tense. On March 10, 1923, a French officer, Lieutenant Pierre Coulpin, of the 17th Infantry Battalion, is assassinated. His coffin travels home through towns, and French officers slap any Germans who don't remove their hats. Indelible images captured for... Hitler denounces the weakness of the government that allows the French to treat Germany like one of its colonies. Germans are cold. Germans are hungry. They try to steal coal back from the French. The Weimar Republic must import its coal and pay the striking miners. These enormous expenses prompt the Mint to begin printing huge quantities of new money. The mark depreciates dramatically. One day, Germans are paying 1 billion marks for a kilo of potatoes, and the next day, 460 billion for a loaf of bread. In this ferment of off-the-charts inflation and unemployment, the Bavarian extreme right mobilizes, with General Ludendorff as its leader.
It was 1932. This footage was recorded at a carnival near Leipzig, Germany. Filmmaker Walter Langer brought his 16mm camera and the girl he would marry. The atmosphere was joyful. But beyond these carnival gates, there were calls for revolution. If you were German and you wanted change, you had two choices. Either you joined the growing numbers of communists, or, like Walter Langer, you joined the Nazi Party.